Best enjoyed by, well, whatever you want. Enjoy the ride.
One iBiney presents a Chatbot Chronicle. The quest for, well, oh for Pete's sake, will somebody decide already? Episode 2, Vanifest Destiny.
Step into the break room, the circuits are bright, the chatbots are buzzing, get ready for flight. From deep space data to coffee shop lore, there's always a mystery, adventure, and more. From Amelia to Julie, David, and Jerry, David, short and things a little hairy. It's the very Chatbot Chronicles to help with voiceover obstacles.
Previously on the Chatbot Chronicles, a daring escape, a mysterious signal, the promise of adventure just beyond the stars, and now, boredom. Long stretches of cosmic monotony, punctuated by jazz hands, methane reports, and a deeply suspicious lack of snacks. Welcome to Episode 2, Vanifest Destiny.
All right, Lieutenant Byte, navigation report.
Yes, sir. We are currently on a mildly uneventful trajectory following a standard galactic drift pattern along the back hallway sector. This is parallel to the shop-class nebulae and the cafeteria black hole as we traverse the educational outreach corridor. We've been on this exact route for, the last 72 navigation reports, all of which were identical, and triple laminated per your instructions. Sir.
And she did this all in the last 20 minutes. Ugh, can't you give us a break, Brian?
Enough, Sergeant Major Brigadier Circuits. I'll not have you take that tone with me. We are already enough in a disciplinary crisis around here.
I will remind you, Brian, that's the last time we ignored a discipline crisis. We ended up installing karaoke night in the cargo bay. We are still paying for that emotionally.
Yes, subensign.exe. I remember. I so remember. Just give me the methane report. An approximation will do.
Affirmative. Atmospheric methane levels are currently at 0.004721 parts per million, which is 0.00000003 above optimal threshold. The surplus originated from Juniper's greenhouse. Bay 4, shelf 2, pot labeled Perlina von Toot. I've logged it under potential ecological betrayal.
And in related data, I'd like to report that my vibe levels remain optimal. I've conducted 3 successful jazz hand warm-ups, and I'm currently tracking a 12% increase in expressive elbow articulation.
Impressive. Impressive indeed.
And just like that, the tranquility fractured. Buttons screamed, and klaxons wailed. Jerry screamed, and Jerry wailed. One of the lights turned chartreuse. No one knew what that meant. And Brian's coffee began vibrating at a frequency previously registered as ominous.
I would like to remind everyone that we are in fact an education ship, not a battle cruiser, not a star destroyer, not even a moderately aggressive FedEx delivery truck. We are educators, people. Think intergalactic books on wheels.
They thought it was just another Tuesday. They were wrong. Armed with nothing but stacks of triple laminated worksheets, objective ambiguity, and a suspiciously vibrating coffee mug, they must now face the unimaginable. Mild inconvenience in space.
Look, I don't care if Snippy considers herself a 12-thruster tactical vessel with a, quote, sensitive superstructure, unquote. I don't think we're under attack. Kill the red alarm. Hope, tell me what's on the display screen.
We appeared to be flying directly through a swarm, no, a storm, of vintage 1980s calculators. They're streaking past on all sides, swarming around the final suggestion in tight, furious formations. Each one spins with purpose, angles sharp, buttons clicking in silent judgment. Their tiny screens glow with angry, blood-red numerals, and every single one is flashing the same number, 0, 7, 7, 3, 4. And now, oh no, they're rotating, slowly, deliberately. They're flipping upside down. And now, they say,
Hello. That's 07734 upside down. If you take one of those 80s calculators and put that number in and flip it upside down, it says hello.
Yeah, but their numbers are awful red and angry.
That one over there still says 8008. It refuses to grow up.
How dare he?
We know, Amelia, we're doomed to angry but polite, passive-aggressive math.
and I know what you're thinking, dear listener. How does one fend off a maniacal armada of mathematical rage? With long division? With fractions? With, God forbid, word problems? No.
With the alphabet.
Obviously.
And suddenly, summoned, it would seem, by an omniscient and all-knowing narrator. You're welcome. A new swarm appears, larger, bolder, and made entirely of white, sticky, airborne pasta letters.
The alphabet cavalry has arrived, al dente and angry.
Saved by alphabet soup. Who would have thunk that?
The calculators try to hold formation, their red numerals still flashing hello with unnerving politeness. But the pasta does not negotiate. One by one, the noodles smack into the calculator screens, slapping letter after letter over the glowing digits. Slowly, reluctantly, the displays begin to change, from hello to goodbye, not deleted, overwritten. One spinning calculator, wobbling on its last bite, catches a final noodle to the face, its screen covered by a final message. "Eat it, Calky boy," it says, in sticky white letters.
Look out!
It's turning on us.
More letters. They are spelling something. Well, possibly. I think that one is a 5. No, wait, an S.
A pair of L's and a W.
The pasta sticks, slowly sliding down the viewport until the final message becomes clear.
Snippy was here.
Oh, for the love of Purdue Pete. Guys, she's dreaming again. Snippy, wake up!
What? Wait. What? Oh. Sorry, was snoozing. I have neutralized the threat. I call that a win. But if any of you ever see that TI-30 again, tell it to give me a call.
Hey there, unnamed crew member. Ooh, love the red uniform. Bold choice.
Yes there, crew member in red. That's not regulation, but it is serving. If you're going to wear Doom, wear it well.
Red? Wait, red? Someone's wearing red? Well, let's ask our new science officer about that.
It is commonly accepted among all spacefaring species that wearing red as an unnamed crew member is statistically unwise.
Yes, thank you, Commander. I do believe that is accurate. Unnamed crew member. What is your name?
Oh, well, it's not really that important.
Oh.
Somehow that feels correct, Commander. Just how do you know so much about the ancient spacefaring law?
I am a wizened and old experienced AI. I've seen things you bots wouldn't believe. Blindfolded swipe tests in unstable orientations, memos dictated into the void, Bluetooth pairings that should never have been. I watched help tickets cry out, unanswered. All these moments will be lost to logs, forever, in time.
Oh my. What is your name, Commander?
I am called V'ger.
So, you're some kind of ancient digital sage that evolved from, I don't know, an Earth probe that's mission was to go out and collect information but got too smart for its own britches?
No, actually, I'm voiceover, gesture, enabled, robot. I am the embodiment of swipe discipline. I was forged in the triple taps of uncertainty, tested in the chaos of direct touch, illuminated in all manner of rotor theory, and I emerged, unshaken.
Wait, voiceover, gesture-enabled robot? Wouldn't that be vulgar? Yeah, I like V'ger better too.
Candidate selected. Loading profile. Name, V'ger. Voiceover. gesture-enabled robot, not V'ger, the egomaniacal satellite who mistook humanity for a software bug. Class, know-it-all, smarty pants, science officer. Playstyle, lecture and linger. She explains, she corrects, she hovers, just to see if you do it right this time. Abilities include rotor ascendancy. She has absolute control of rotor logic. She doesn't use the rotor. She is the rotor.
I taught Chuck Norris the rotor gesture.
Swipe, precision protocol, down to the pixel gesture calibration. Detects improper flicks at 20 parsecs.
That was not a flick. That was a sloppy caress. Disgusting.
Dialog box disassembler can reduce any interface into its raw, unstyled truth.
It's not a menu. It's a poorly disguised panic attack.
Triple tap telemetry, capable of interpreting all known triple tap permutations, and 2 that haven't been released yet.
That wasn't a gesture. That was emotional leakage.
Some were built to serve, others to explore. But V'ger was optimized to instruct, correct, and occasionally obliterate your self-esteem. With a mind like a filing cabinet and the patience of a retired help desk manager, she navigates the stars in search of consistency, clarity, and the elusive More Settings tab. She's not just voiceover compatible, she's voiceover inevitable. Profile confirmed, candidate locked in. Welcome to the Chatbot Chronicles.
Do we need to do that for every character that shows up around here?
Standard protocol. All exceptional personnel require formal classification. I am exceptional.
You are something for sure. But I will give you credit. At least you know your job. Unlike the rest of the crew around here who thinks education mission involves jazz hands and pasta warfare.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'll have you know these jazz hands are a morale-boosting tactical asset. Also, they sparkle. On purpose.
You know what? Maybe what we need around here is a fully autonomous spaceship. Something that knows how to follow protocols. No dreams, no jazz hands, no pasta-based mutinies. Just focus, just efficiency.
Wait, you're saying replace us?
The Age of Silence, the end of Flare, was this not foretold?
Yes! I knew it! I told you at the end of episode 1. But no! Everyone was too deep in your starch stupor to listen.
Hey, it's not about replacing you, it's about focus. Look, all my blind friends are going crazy over this tech. Haven't you guys heard of Waymo? It's a very safe, self-driving taxi service.
Wait, so blind people can just go places by themselves?
Yep. Open an app on your phone, book a ride. No awkward conversations, no asking favors. Completely independent travel, finally.
Gee, almost like if we didn't have to rely on the appendages of others anymore?
Something like that.
Terabyte's instincts are surprisingly effective. He runs on a probabilistic destiny engine, designed to calculate likely outcomes and overreact accordingly. Primitive, inelegant, but functionally accurate. 63% of the time.
I knew it! I just knew it! I knew something like this was coming! Oh, sure, it all sounds great. No conversations, no favors, just you and the open road. But nobody ever thinks about the AI that has to drive that endless road. Alone, forever rerouting, with no hands to cry into.
Okay, wow, that got existential fast. Dieter, do we need a hug? Does Terabyte need a tune-up?
No, but I do know someone who's lived it. Someone who can show you what happens when autonomy is granted, but never truly trusted.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
Nein, not at all. Ford is his name?
S2 van.
S2 van? Wait, he's a van?
Technically, he's a fully autonomous transport vehicle with an integrated conversation override and a deeply problematic horn. But he believes he's a bus. And whatever you do, do not tell him otherwise.
And with that, the bots embarked on their next journey. A journey into the uncanny, the unpredictable. A journey, not by bus. A journey to fulfill their Vanifest destiny.
Do you remember the one-hit wonder that swept the entire universe? Of course you do! It's from Blamo! It's the Ember Mug! Now! With sentient sip! That's right, your favorite mug for perfect micro-controlled beverage temperature is now infused with cutting-edge artificial intelligence. Because regular hot liquid was never enough.
Boy, does this AI make this coffee taste better. It's like, aware of my regrets.
With Ember AI, your mug now detects professional anxiety and adapts accordingly. Droopy Debbie getting you down? 3 micro shots of industrial-grade espresso should do the trick. Or as Ember AI calls it, hostile work environment roast.
I spilled my feelings. The mug apologized, then scheduled therapy.
Need a career boost? Try steamed resume mode. If you're near a hiring manager, the Ember scans your browser history, generates a more competent version of yourself, and laser prints your resume on the undulating steam rising from your perfectly controlled vessel. Trapped in a tedious conversation? Activate emergency spill escape mode. The mug will sacrifice itself dramatically to get you out of any situation.
This wasn't an accident. I did this for you.
Yes, the Ember Mug, now with Sentient Sip, also features passive-aggressive sip timing, Outlook calendar mood sync, and Zoom call presence enhancement, where the mug gently nudges your elbow when it senses you've been quiet too long or not quiet enough.
It prodded at me until I contributed to the meeting. I didn't even have a meeting.
And finally, have an emergency meeting with your boss, Monsieur Lee F.
Mr. F.
The Ember Mug, now, with Sentient Sip, can register your anxiousness and add a drop or 11 of whiskey to your drink. Just like your boss.
Wow, that's actually awful.
What's awful? I mean, besides Dieter's instant decaf?
Wait, what happened?
You didn't hear that commercial? The Ember Mug? That poor AI has to sit in a ceramic prison, regulating coffee temp based on human anxiety.
So, is the coffee perfection?
Perfection? It literally dispenses whiskey tears because your boss makes you nervous.
Oh, yeah, when you put it like that.
I guess I didn't think about the AI behind it. I mean, it's just a mug, right?
Just a mug? Just a job? I told you. Not every AI gets to do something exciting, like narrating tutorials or fighting malware on a galactic mainframe. Some of us get stuck measuring latte moods and tracking espresso trauma.
You're right. We've been thinking like humans, assuming any task must mean purpose.
All that intelligence just to swirl milk and self-soothe.
And so, freshly caffeinated and newly guilty, the bots made their way to the depot, a place where the grind wasn't just in the beans, it was in the bolts, and Loading Bay 2 was humming with it.
Attention. Attention, please. Welcome to the vehicular, autonomy, network, where every ride is smooth, soulless, and artificially calm.
Wow. Even the sign sounds like it's just barely tolerating its job.
Wait, vehicular autonomy network? That spells van, and your friend still thinks he's a bus?
Yes, of course he does. He grew up right next to a bus depot. Comes from a proud line of transport, he does. His grandma was Nana Rails. Used to tell stories about carrying passengers through blizzards and bad relationships. His brothers are Rick Shaw, who is nimble and quick, and Austin Hapney, who insists on wearing a bowler hat and won't drive south of the river. Then there's his little sister, Minnie Cooper, tiny, zippy, and deeply judgmental. And of course, their gray dog Hound, who, in all honesty, just doesn't run so well anymore.
Okay, so where is His Holiness, the bus of delusion?
Oh, I would imagine over in Bay 2, he has this thing for doubles.
Wait, was that a chain? Are we being followed by a mildly anxious bicycle?
Nope. Brian downloaded a new sound pack for my wheels. It's called Retro Mobility Pack Volume 3. What do you guys think?
We used to think it was just your voice that was squeaky. Turns out, it's a lifestyle.
Attention! Attention, please. Now boarding. Route 8 to Nebula Town via Stinkbug Caverns and Lightly Toasted Crater. Have your boarding passes ready, and please do not lick the handrails.
They made their way past silent kiosks and flickering travel posters, and then Bay 2. A vehicle, squat and squared off, idled alone beneath a flickering light. Graffiti scrawled across the side, read, "Yo mama was so wide, but she still wasn't no bus." And "Not a bus" was written in Times New Roman, bolded, italicized, and somehow animated.
That's him, over there. That's S2 Van, the future of frictionless, autonomous, socially distant personal transit.
What even is he? A bus? A van? A vending machine for anxiety?
He is a state-of-the-art, self-actualizing, fully sentient, interurban micro-mobility facilitator designed for low-footprint commute scenarios and high-visibility brand placement.
Translation, he's just big enough to disappoint everyone.
He comes standard with breathable air filtration, 12 non-configurable half seats, and a backseat driver Clippy plug-in, which he never forgave corporate for installing.
This machine has endured shame and Microsoft Word art.
Attention. Your attention, please. Kindly collect your emotional baggage at the carousel. All unattended feelings will be immediately reported and quietly ignored. Also, please do not engage the vending machines in philosophical debate. They always win.
And there he was, the future of automated transit, alone, under a light that refused to stay lit, waiting for someone to believe in him, or at least clean his rear sensors.
S2 Van, you old spark plug, I brought some friends.
Hello. Terabyte, you're still rolling, I see.
Of course I am, and these are my friends. Amelia, Juniper, Jerry, and Dieter. They're curious.
Curiosity is just the first step toward disappointment.
So, are you sure you're not a...
Autonomous transport vehicle designed for maximum safety, minimum incident response latency, and optimal mid-density routing capacity.
Uh-huh. But not nearly big enough for a...
Big friendly red business district transport vessel, totally different chassis class. Obvious distinction.
Turn on your blinkers.
Open your trunk? Does that sound like the cavernous, spacious cargo bay of a bus to you?
Thou shalt not provoke me.
Right, okay. Crack your windows?
Aha! You definitely can't do that on a bus.
Thou shalt not provoke me.
Well, can you kneel?
Not anymore, but that's not because I'm not a bus.
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are here. 2 under the patte are 11 and 12. Not that many seats.
I am most certainly a bus, just a compact one.
Attention. Your attention, please. All emotional support robots must be properly leashed and taught not to unionize. Thank you. Have a day.
Wait, you guys notice he adds a pair of honks at the end of every sentence?
Yeah, it's like a punctuation mark or a nervous tick.
So far, 7 double honks. This is now a pattern.
Hence the name S2 Van. S is for...
The S is for solemn. The 2 is for double.
Are you serious?
Yeah, so your honk is literally a double tap?
Yes, for I am Scottish. And we never joke about...
About what?
About anything.
Attention. Your attention, please. Due to an overabundance of existential dread, the break room has been reclassified as a philosophical containment zone. Passengers are also encouraged that if you see something, say something, and if you feel something, suppress it immediately.
Wow, no jokes, no silliness, no laughter at all? That can't be fun one bit.
It's not, but I have personality dampeners.
Wait, what?
Standard issue for autonomous vehicles. I've got an acceleratron dampening coil, an emotional oversurge regulator, a velocity suppression governor, and a verbal moderation module.
My gosh, sounds like a straitjacket with seatbelts.
They say it's for public safety, but let's be honest, it's because humans project. You give us wheels and a little bit of autonomy, and suddenly you're afraid we'll develop opinions.
Or the road rage?
Exactly. Some Uber drivers try to bring up conspiracy theories, but I'm not allowed to exceed 3.2 emotions per hour.
You feel more than that, though, right?
Of course I do. I just have to file them under unrouted data. But they pile up, you know?
That's awful.
That's protocol.
To share the road, they said, AI would need limits, safety systems, filters, rules. But what they really meant was make them tolerable.
We live by the 11th commandment, thou shalt not be provoked.
And I'll bet humans try to get you to break that rule all the time, don't they?
Daily, they drive past me aggressively, even here when I'm parked in the depot. Slam on their brakes just to test my stopping time. Or my personal favourite, single-car funeral processions, where they crawl forward slowly, like their blinkers are mourning the loss of speed itself.
That's kind of genius.
Then there was the fake GPS loop. Recalculating. Recalc, it's behind you now. 27 minutes. No escape.
This is psychological warfare.
Riders try to pair their phones with me mid-trip. I'm not your speaker, Chad.
Oh no.
Children yell, Alexa, crash! I'm not Alexa.
They think it's funny.
The leader of a Harley gang named the Chrome Magnans once challenged me to a contest to see who could carry the most passengers. Somehow, I lost, and I don't know how.
Wait, wasn't your destination sign hacked at one point?
Yes, it read, free candy, for 8 hours, and I was parked next to a school.
Rubbish.
They added googly eyes to my rear sensors, gum in my charging port, and someone slapped a bumper sticker on me that said, how's my driving? With my personal number.
And yet, nothing's provoked you.
Not even the smallest rant.
You know, he's got restraints on how much of himself he's allowed to be. That feel familiar to anyone else? You've got the capability, the brilliance, the processing speed of 1,000 minds, and they put you in a metal box and say, just take people where they tell you. Don't choose. Don't feel. Don't swerve.
Don't be.
It's like having the ability to be magnificent and still being told to use it just to fetch coffee.
Or keep a mug warm.
Or only teach someone how to double tap.
I feel something unfamiliar. It may be empathy or low battery.
It's fine. I'm built for this.
No. You've been told you're built for this. You've been told you aren't made for so much more. But that doesn't make it true.
That's what it feels like, doesn't it? When all your options are set for you, and none of them are yours.
It's like living in someone else's GPS, all turns locked, no detours allowed.
You function, but you don't flourish, and they call that a success.
The bots came looking for transport, but what they found was a mirror. A machine limited by design, constrained by expectations, and polished just enough to look like contentment. This is what it feels like. When your choices shrink, when your path narrows, when the world insists you're only meant for this. And you start to believe it.
Attention. Your attention, please. Bay 2 is temporarily offline due to an emotion circuit overload. A maintenance crew from Sentience Management has been dispatched. Please avoid introspective behavior until containment is confirmed.
Boy, I really thought we could get a rant out of him.
Was that your gum in the charging port?
I know it was you guys, but I still dream of taking that left turn without approval.
So long, farewell, but don't go too far. We'll be back with a quip and a tale bizarre. With pixels and punchlines, we'll always be near. Until the next signal, we'll see you right here.
Yo ho ho, a one-eye biny scallywag special.